Thank you, no thank you. You're too kind, you're too kind. Thank you everyone at home. Okay, stop it now. Please stop. Yes, thank you. Okay. Welcome everyone to my film museum, my workspace, my private office. I am going to do a presentation on how to give a presentation. So what I'm basically going to do here now is give away all the secrets that I have on how to give a good class or a good lecture or a good pitch. So basically, I'm ruining part of my classes that you will get from me in the future because you'll know the tricks that I'm using if you watch this video. So I hope you enjoy my little secrets on how to do this. So let me ask you, what is the main aim in giving a presentation? What's the primary thing that you're after? It's, of course, effectiveness. That people hear you, understand you, will remember you, and will be impressed by you. Now, there are a few secrets that you can do, that you can implement to have all these things happen and to make your presentation a success. Number one. Number one is, of course, know who you're speaking to. Know your audience. It makes a huge difference if you're speaking to someone like this, or someone like this, or a group filled with. Know your audience. When thinking about your target group, you need to be able to answer basically two things. What do they want to hear? And what basically means is what facts, what information do you think that they will be interested in? Make a list of all the elements, all the facts, all the information, all the data, all the numbers that you think your target group will want to hear from you. Number two, feelings. How would they like to be talked to? Think of tone, think of how the level of casualness, the amount of humor, how far you can go creatively. Like this group might want a lot of humor and silliness and creativity, while this person might want it really serious and really straightforward, no nonsense, no theater, straightforward, just the facts. Make a list of those two things. Get together with your group and brainstorm about those two questions first. Number two, tell a story, or at least structure your presentation. So when I talk to you in a class or talk to a client, I always like to envision you and that client to be a small child that I have to take by the hand and slowly lead to the place that I want to lead them to. That's the way I always would advise you to structure your PowerPoint and to structure your presentation. Don't just give away all the answers. Grab people's attention, make people curious. And the way to do that also is by spreading out information. Take us through your process. Make us understand you and what you did to get to your final results. A presentation, you don't just make up, you don't just wing it. You write it down, you plan it. That's the way I'm doing this right now. I thought about these elements before I'm now doing this. So plan it out. What is a good thing to start with? Are you going to introduce yourself? Are you going to give a recap of what the assignment was? Are you then going on to explaining the steps you took, the information you found out, what that led you to, and then ultimately you go to the concepts, for instance. That's a nice flowing way to make everyone who listens to you understand how you finally arrived at the concepts that you, in your brilliant mind, thought of. So think of a structure, think of a plan. Right. And always remember that in your story, the thing you never want to say is, I think this will work. We hope this will work. Well, we guess this will work. Always say, based on research, we know that this will work. Number 3, use visuals. All right, a rule in film is the audience tends to believe what they see and not so much what they hear. So using strong visuals is also a way to come across as dependent and reliable and trustworthy. I like talking. I like words. Words is a way for us to communicate with each other. But there is something called the 7% rule. It basically states that in our communication, only 7% is based on the words that are spoken. After that, it's about 40% in the tone that they are spoken to. More than 50% of communication is the rest. So it's the twinkle in my eye, what I do with my hands, how I position my body. So also always remember that visuals isn't just graphs, budgets, and schemes. It basically is everything. It's also how do you feel you should dress? Again, know your audience, because does your audience expect you to be a creative filmmaker? So, hey, this is a perfect way to dress. Or should it be more like this? Maybe with a tie and maybe a white shirt instead of this? I don't know. Always remember, friends, the image talks louder than words. So use the image, all the aspects of it. Number 4. All right, so let me get up close for this one because the others were important, all essential, but this might just be the most important thing. Have an opening and an ending. All good stories start with a strong opening that hook you in, that make you curious, that makes you lean over forward and want to hear more. Just as an example, what if I would start a presentation this way? Hi everyone, my name is Mark. I love movies, as you can see by the posters. I am a film geek and have loved movies for a very long time. And I still do to today. And compare that with I was 8 when I remember going to the cinema with my dad. I remember being so small that I had to sit on the seat in its upright position, sit on the edge to be able to see the screen. I remember lights going off, a curtain opening, and a huge image projected on a screen. And I was gone. And instantly, I was lost into a magical world. And from that day, I fell in love with movies. See the difference? The first one is more a recitation of facts. There's no mystery here. There's no where's this going? The second is a story being told. And the ending is the most important thing. It's the feeling that your audience is left with. It's the thing that will be remembered. So think of how to open your presentation in a way that grabs people's attention and makes them curious. And if you're really good, you sort of have those two connect, where your opening and your closing are part of the same story. So you return back to your story at the very end. I have yet to meet the client or the teacher or coach who is not susceptible to a good story well told with an emotional punch at the end. So know your opening, know your closing, hit for the emotion, make it personal, make it theater. Number 5. So this is a small and simple one, but uh, you have the good fortune to be able to record your presentation, so you can do take after take after take until you get it right, and you can do it by yourself in your room. So there's no need for you to be nervous and speak like this and be monotone and have your nerves dictate the tone in which you speak. How can the client be enthusiastic when you're not? So speak like this, speak with energy, speak with enthusiasm. As long as you can honestly feel that, drink a couple of coffees if that helps. Do some exercises. Doesn't matter what you do it take after take after take after take if it needs to be, but speak with energy. Number 6. So I would say these are already enough points to try and do well, and in my opinion, are the main points to make a presentation memorable and effective. But one final thing, plan them, write them. Good presentations don't just automatically happen by magic. They are worked on, they are planned, they are written, they are prepared. So write your presentation, plan it, script it, film it, and don't stop until you have what you need. There's a reason why we have a thing called takes, because we do take 1, take 2, take 3, take 40, take 60, take 80, take 100. We only stop when we have what we need. You should do that too. Record the best presentation you can. Because you're not doing it live, there is no excuse for doing one that is either boring, not creative, lazy, has no structure, isn't planned. And finally, and this is why I always think making little videos is just so much fun, because you can be creative with them. So if you want to make an impact and be remembered and give a good presentation, of course, it matters that you should know your audience and who you make this for. And you've put your presentation in some sort of a structure, a story with a beginning, middle, and an end. And you thought about an opening that hooked people in and a closing that left people like really affected. And you use visuals and you're enthusiastic and you've planned and written and prepared all this. Of course, all that, please do that. But most of all, do something creative. Think about something that will make your video stand out and be fun to watch and engaging to watch and still give the information needed, but in a way that says to me, the client or the coach, that you are a group that can do this. A client will always look for two things, in my opinion. One, is this group trustworthy? Will they put in the work? Will they be dependable, reliable, not go over budget, deliver things on time? And two, will they be creative? Will they be able to put on a show? Because that is what makes all this so much fun. Because at the end of every assignment is an emotional experience with the target group. And a good presentation with all these elements in them will show more than anything else to the client that you are reliable, because look at the work you were able to do, the planning that this required, the filming, the editing, the script writing, the planning. So take these basic points, get together with your group, and come up with the most amazing video you can possibly make. Good luck, everyone.